welcome back to Kids Life. I'm Pastor Justin and I am so glad that you are joining me today. Today I'm in my backyard right next to our lilac bush. Now when I was a little boy, about 5 years old, we lived in a house that had a lilac bush a lot like this. Now, I love lilac bushes because the flowers that come out every year are so beautiful and they smell so sweet. My mom loved that lilac bush that we had in our house as a young boy because of the beautiful flowers that it had. But I had one more reason why I liked the lilac bush when I was a boy. Because the branches that grow on it can be broken off and be made into the perfect swords for pretending, right? They make the best whooshing sounds as they went back and forth. And I remember one day my friends came over and we needed a bunch of swords to play with. And so I went to the lilac bush and I broke off a whole bunch of branches and we had so much fun playing with swords for that little bit. But what happened to that bush, right? It was damaged. It meant that there were not going to be as many beautiful flowers to enjoy later. And so later in the evening, my mom asked me, "Justin, did you ruin the lilac bush? Did you go and break off a bunch of branches?" And I felt so bad inside. It was then that I knew that I had done something really wrong. And it was then that I also knew I didn't want to face the consequences. I didn't want to get in trouble for what I had done wrong. And so I told a lie. I looked at my mom and my dad and I said, "No, I didn't ruin the bush. It was my little sister." Now she would have only been 3 years old at the time, barely big enough to come and pull anything off of the bush. And so I think they knew that I was telling a lie. But I felt so bad inside. After I told the lie, I went up to my room and I was alone and I thought about it. And I thought about the possibility of my little sister getting in trouble for something that I had done because I had ruined the bush and I had lied about it. And so I went back to my mom and dad and I told them the truth. That I had told them a lie about it. That I had in fact been the one who had ruined the lilac bush. Our big idea today is that God helps us be honest with our families. Honesty is when we don't tell a lie, it's when we do tell the truth. And that's the best way to live as a family. When we're honest with each other, we can trust each other. Now that night, when I was a young boy, my parents helped me to learn that honesty is the best policy. They forgave me when I said I was sorry. They helped me make it right with my younger sister. Honesty is what's going to help our families work best. That's why that's our big idea today. God helps us be honest with our families. We're going to watch a short Bible story video together. You remember the last 2 weeks we were spending time with Abraham and Sarah, and God promised to give them a son, Isaac. And Isaac grew up and he had a family of his own. And we're going to check out that video together now, and we'll come back when it's all done and we'll talk a little bit more.
Hello, friends. We've been talking about families. Have you ever told a lie to someone in your family? Maybe your mom asked you to clean your room, and instead of doing it, you shoved everything under your bed and told her you were done cleaning up. Do you think that's the right thing to do? Is there a better way? God wants us to be truthful. Telling a lie can hurt other people, and it can hurt us too. Let's go back to the family of Abraham and Sarah and their son Isaac. Isaac is a grown-up now and is very old. He got married and had twin boys whose names were Jacob and Esau. They were born on the same day, but they were very different kids. As they grew up, everyone could see how different Jacob and Esau were. If you have brothers or sisters, you are very different too. Esau had red hair, and he was very hairy. Jacob wasn't very hairy at all. Esau became a hunter, and Jacob stayed home and worked at the house. One day, Esau came in from hunting and was very hungry. His brother, Jacob, tricked him and made a deal that wasn't fair. Jacob had made a meal, a big pot of stew. It smelled delicious, and Esau wanted to eat it. Jacob said Esau could eat the stew if he traded everything that his father would give him someday. Is that a fair trade? No! But Esau made the trade anyway. He ate the stew, and Jacob was going to get everything Esau deserved. A few years later, when Isaac was very old and sick, he called his son Esau to come to talk. Isaac told Esau to hunt and bring back some good meat for him. Then he would give him a special blessing. Isaac's wife, Rebekah, was listening, and she wanted Jacob to get the blessing. Rebekah prepared a special meal for Isaac and dressed Jacob up with animal hair on his arms so he would feel hairy like his brother. Jacob even put on his brother's clothes. Then, Rebekah sent Jacob in to his father to pretend to be Esau while Esau was hunting. Isaac could barely see, but he felt Jacob's hairy arms and smelled the clothing and asked him,
"Are you my son, Esau?"
Jacob told a lie and said yes. So, Isaac gave Jacob the blessing that was meant for Esau. Then, Jacob left the room, and right after that, Esau came in from hunting and took the meat to his father and asked for the blessing. When Isaac and Esau discovered Jacob had tricked them, they were both very upset. Jacob and Rebekah had lied and tricked them. When we aren't honest with our family members, it hurts them, and it also hurts us. Jacob lost a relationship with his father and his brother. They lost trust in their family. We might want to tell a lie to someone in our family sometimes, or trick someone. You might want to lie about making a mess or following rules, or trick someone into giving you a toy. But when we lie, it hurts our families. God can help us be honest with our families.
All right, did you enjoy that video? Did you see that Isaac grew up and he had sons of his own, Jacob and Esau? But Jacob was tricky. Jacob tricked his brother Esau out of the birthright. And then later Jacob lied to his dad Isaac about who he was. Is that right? No, it's not right. Have you ever told a lie? Maybe you didn't want to get in trouble, or maybe you wanted to make something right in your own mind, but how did that make you feel when you told a lie? It's not worth it in the end, is it? You see, God always knows when we are telling a lie. God knows all the things, right? God knows what is going on. God can tell when we're telling a lie. So that makes God feel sad too. We feel bad when we tell a lie, and other people in our families feel bad, and God feels bad. When we tell a lie, it doesn't do us any good. It doesn't do anybody in our family any good, and it doesn't make God happy either. But God always knows when we're telling a lie, and God always knows when we're ready to be forgiven. When we say we're sorry to our family and to God, God is always ready to forgive us, to help us make it right. Our memory verse that we've been working on this month helps us know that God is trustworthy. God is always honest. God's always telling us the truth, and so we can trust God. And we can trust that this Bible verse is true, that we know that in all things God is working for the good of those who love Him, those who have been called according to His purpose. Romans 8:28. See, we can trust God because God doesn't lie. God is honest. When we are honest with our family members, with our parents and our brothers and sisters, then they can trust us. And we can trust them when they're honest with us. And that's the best way for families to work together. Next week we're going to look at how God begins to help families heal. But for today, I want us to remember this, that God helps us be honest with our families. I hope you've enjoyed our time together, and I hope that I'll see you next week. But until then, keep eating your vegetables, keep your room clean, and keep pointing to Jesus. Bye, friends.